Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to be doing a reading. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I was told is too intense not to notice. Oh, hold the phone. Hold the device. I forgot to, again. I need to make the necessary. Ooh, sneaky energy around. What? Sorry. I just saw something on my screen. It's going to be perfectly okay. I've waited 100 years. Ooh, that is just a hot air. Just a ton of hot air across my face. What the heck? I've waited 100 years. One more setting I have to change. I'll wait 1,000,000 more for you. Nothing prepared me for. Hurry up and load the page. People are waiting for their reading. Here it is. What the privilege of being yours would do. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. All right, guys, I'm back. Okay. So, really quick, we're running out of time. It's going to be just in like 3 days. Yes. 3 days. In 3 days, I will be having the Chord Lab workshop. If you've been having issues with chords, with any questionable energies, questionable influences on your energy, questionable intention of people, just the whole shebang bang, go check this out. k33academy.com/store/chord-lab. Put on the full armor of God. That's what the notification says. What the heck, Mikey? What's happening? Something happening? Hold on. Hold the phone. I don't know. Something's happening. Whew. Literally, like, I got a notification. It says put on the full armor of God. Okay, I'm just gonna get cards ready. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some cards ready. I'm gonna stay in my lane with the armor of God on, and just stay in my lane. Okay. Let's get the cards. Oh my God. Oh shoot, dedication. Okay. That masculine and feminine energy on either side of the cup, the vessel, something's going to be brought to fruition. Okay, let's just dive right into it. Let's not even mess around. Let's just dive right in. I don't know the name of the song. I can figure it out for you. I look it up. I'll look it up for you. Okay. Energy is weird right now. Not necessarily a bad weird, but just a weird weird. A weird weird. So let me just. All right. A couple from here. And then this deck. I think it's called like Turning Page or something like that. Let's see. Nothing prepared me for what the privilege of being yours would do. Let's see. To get by. Sleeping at Last, turning page. That's what it's called. Turning page by Sleeping at Last. I love that song. Okay. I'm nervous. This is going to be an intense read. I'm nervous already. I'm nervous. I'm not even going to play with y'all. So I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I was told is too intense not to notice. So clearly, I'm noticing the intensity. I don't know if you're noticing the intensity, but there's an intensity wafting through the air. This is something that it's been. I poked my eye, and so I have mascara on my finger. It's fine. Anyways, I hate shit on people's fingers. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Under nails in your finger, like, I don't like that. Okay. So I see this masculine and this feminine beside a cup, this altar. The book open. There's stories being shared, passed around. I'm wondering if it has to do with this masculine and this feminine energy. So I see a lot of movement in the back. There's a lot of winds of change. There's a lot of smoke. Um, there's a lot of like smoke and mirrors, cloak and dagger type stuff. I don't know. There's just a lot of energy, and a lot of just questionable intentions. I feel like it's focused on you, but you know, I feel like I want to just shift the energy really quick, because I am not down for this caca. I don't like these type of readings. I really, really don't. I don't like these type of readings where it's almost like this veiled intention, this like, be upfront. I don't like when people beat around the bush, and just be upfront. So let me be upfront and look through all the cards. Okay, so it's intensifying because someone's come back home. Oh, it's intensifying because someone has come back to the foundation. They've come back to the homeland. Da, 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 da. So masculine ethos and responsibility all in reverse. This upside down thing. But today I get this feeling that it's not necessarily that the masculine is upside down. It's that the environment that they've lived in has caused them to feel that they are upside down in their logic, and that they're irresponsible in what they've decided. I know what y'all are doing. I know what you're doing. You're trying to get me to involve myself. Nothing prepared me for the bullshit of this reading today. Invocation and concealment. It's almost like you called this into being. I'm not saying it's your fault, but it's this thing of like, whatever this is, it was called into fruition. And it's something that's not going to be hidden for much longer. It's something. Just say, you need to exhale all of it out. It's something that's not going to be hidden for much longer. Okay, it's going to be visible. It's going to be something that's obvious. It's almost like you already are feeling what all of this is. You can feel it already. You know what song keeps playing in my head since this morning? Where do broken hearts go when they find their way home? Okay, let me see. What are the lyrics? Where do broken hearts go? Lyrics. um we're reshuffling the deck. Sorry, guys. These cards were a private message for me, and it's going to remain private. We're reshuffling the deck. This is a collective reading. This is not a let's do a personal reading for myself in front of the general public. Decks are being shuffled and changed out. How are you guys doing today? We're just going to go ahead and change all of the cards out. No, I refuse to comply. Then punish me. Perfectly fine. Yes. Final decision. It's worth the punishment. So, guys, my eyebrows are on fleek. I didn't fix them. Thank you for reminding me. You got to at least, like when you put lotion on your face, you got to go up, up and out. There. Now there. Anywho. Smelly cat, smelly cat. What are they feeding you? I'm minding my business too, girl. I must stay minding my business. Bring whoever you want up in here. Bring Marlene, bring the whole family. I really don't give a fuck. Bring whoever you want in here. I'm not complying today. Here we go. Got a stack like that. And then we'll shuffle this deck. Get a stack from here. Smaller stack. So this is a collective reading. This is a reading for the general public. It does not matter what your sun, moon, or rising is. If it resonates, it resonates. Whatever doesn't resonate, just leave it behind. But I will no longer be fucking entertainment, okay? Not to you guys. I was addressing Michaela over here. Anywho, let's see. Ooh, okay. So a lot of thoughts are passing through, right? These thoughts are totally triggering the inner child, triggering curiosity, triggering a desire to reach for higher and higher. There's this holding on to the wildflower. There's no fear in this picture. So it's basically this message of allowing yourself, your inner child, to reach higher and higher levels of exploration. The higher the level of exploration, the deeper the depth of understanding. The higher the level of exploration, the deeper the depth of understanding that you develop. Okay. This is like, are you telling me you're going to boot upon me? If you do it hard. I'm just saying. So it's this thing of like being caught unaware, right? You're in this place, this space of quiet, this space of calm, this space of stillness where you are working on yourself, you are working on whatever it is that you need to focus on within your life. And something kind of comes forward and just boop, right in the kisser. So there is possibly an event that that is potentially going to blindside you. You have to be prepared to be able to remain in your stillness while addressing whatever it is needs to be addressed. If you look here, all these different channels being used to push information through, like just pushing that information through. This has a lot to do with your earthly existence. Your eyes are open, you're watching, you're paying attention to the things you need to pay attention to. So if you notice how the colors at the top of the crown and going down the back towards the kundalini, they are very similar to the colors in this image, right? A lot of this energy is causing you to become more aware, too intense not to notice. So maybe once upon a time you had worries about survival on your shoulders, right? Survival as part of your identity on your cheek. But here's the thing, you're entering into a space of personal power within this life. You have to allow yourself to go through this process. You have to allow yourself to go ahead and make decisions that you feel is best for you. Michael is legit trying to have a full-on side conversation with me while I'm trying to do a general reading. See, here's the thing. I'm not opposed to the topic of twins. I'm not, I don't like when I am aware that there's content in the reading that's intended to be strictly as information for me personally. And it's like 80 to 90% of the reading is literally me being lectured through cards. It's not about pride, it's about privacy. It's about privacy. And I have a sovereign right to decide what I will share with the general public and what I choose to keep private, right? So we can include that as part of the reading, but I'm not going to reshuffle the decks and change them out just so I can be lectured. You can lecture me all you want once the live stream is done. But I do have sessions coming up, so you might have to break up that lecture between sessions. Yes. All right, so these are good cards. These are definitely good cards. So this awareness that's developing, it's being allowed to mature all the way through. It's this process of you exiting out of the shadows, these shadows, shadow aspects of you that really, it popped up because of things that are attached to the sacrum, the sacral. So the sacrum is the back part of your body. It's the bone that it's like a triangle shaped bone, and your hip bones kind of attach to it and go forward. That is like the armor plate that basically protects your sacral chakra. And all of this orangey energy, it's like your sacral is expanding. It's expanding into a space of an awareness of your personal power. That's good. That's very, very good for you. That's very, very good for you. Entering into this space of allowing yourself to kind of just feel the influence you have in your life, on your journey, on the people who are in your life and part of your journey. This is really about the reclamation of your personal power, right? And then comes this space of, because of communication, you're able to communicate, to verbalize. That personal power is freeing, empowering, and nurturing the inner child. And as that happens, see, You're kind of just like in this space of neutral observation. You're allowing yourself to enter into higher levels of functioning, soul based function. That's really, really good. I like that. So there's someone that is just absolutely feeling as though they're in two places. The first place is this place of like feeling as though you're going to drown, drown within yourself, drown within your truth, just drown, right? And then this other half of them feels like they're being utterly destroyed, burned up by the words and thoughts of others, people who really don't know what's going on. And there's this throwing up the hands and just not knowing anymore, just exhausted, this exhaustion. There is someone who is behind them. I don't know if you see that face that keeps stoking the fires, fanning the flames. There's this quote. There's this quote. Let me see. Let me try and find it. A fish being scared of drowning in the ocean because you're used to being in a fishbowl. That was from a reading I did on May 2019, sometime in May of 2019. A fish being scared of drowning in the ocean because you're used to being in a fishbowl. This is someone who is exiting out of that fishbowl. They're returning back to their natural state. They've been existing in a fishbowl for quite some time now, allowing other people's opinions, perceptions, and what have you to keep them so confined. Just because your ocean is expansive does not mean it exists to drown you. The only reason you feel that way is because of the fear that's been programmed into you by the very people who have benefited from controlling you. And so now it's this thing of every conversation that's ever been had with the people who empower you. And it might be just one person who's been empowering you, and you see them as so many different fractals because they exist in such a textured, very rich, very nuanced manner, where it's like, it's almost as though you can't see them as a whole person. It's hard for you to quantify how they can have so many different aspects of themselves and still be whole, not feel crazy, because maybe you're just as nuanced, just as textured, but you haven't been allowed to explore those things. Because if you do, if you allow yourself to exist in that space of being a totality rather than fractionated fragments of dualities, you're going to be seen as crazy. I take that as a compliment. It's not uncommon for people to categorize me as crazy. Because why? Because I'm free. Because I can be whoever I want to be. And all of those aspects of me are valid parts. Because I have no shame in being able to allow these different aspects of myself, these different components of my personality and my character. I don't have to play a role. I am not a Stepford soul. And as you guys saw at the beginning of this video, I will not comply if it does not align between myself and my soul. I will not be bullied. I will not be any of that. And if I should need to be punished for being who I am, then I will receive that punishment not as a punishment, but as confirmation that I'm reaching higher and higher levels of courage, courage under fire, a fearlessness to be who I am in the face of whoever wants to stand before me, whatever wants to stand before me. So it's okay. This right here. This right here. Literally called crazy by a very important person to me. It's all because I'm trying to break free. I've experienced that. Having someone that's in some way, shape, or form significant, important for me in my life, my journey, at one point long ago. And it got back to me. You see, I feel like I make people feel so comfortable around me that they can tell me anything. And for the most part, you can. You can tell me anything without fear of condemnation. But I just don't know how someone would feel like it's okay to let me know that someone important to me has been talking about me like I'm crazy, and even created an entire, I don't remember the nickname anymore. You know who else they think is crazy? The revolutionaries, the trailblazers, the people who exist as though there's no box, because in reality, there is no box to confine you within. Those are the people that are called crazy. Anyone who calls me crazy, I look you in the eyes and I state fact, you are neurotypical, and how very typical of you to create a pathology where none exists just because you lack the capacity to understand. What you are incapable of quantifying. So you call it crazy? Let me make it easier for you to understand what you don't understand and probably never will. You're dealing with a neurodivergent, a quantum anomaly in a linear world. The next step in human evolution. It's okay if you don't understand. Go ahead and live your life and know. Your words, they're typical, and I don't deal with typical. I embrace quantum. I embrace divergency. I embrace all of that, and never again will I comply. Never again will I play small just to make you more comfortable in your smallness. I'm not you. I'm not like you, and I never will be. I never have been, and I no longer aspire to be. I promise you, in a few years, it will take you a few years. In a few years, you might develop enough to finally be able to understand to a limited degree what I'm talking about right now. And I make you another promise. By the time you reach where I am right now, in a few years, I'll be somewhere else already. I was never meant to walk beside you. I was meant to set the wilderness on fire so you could follow behind me more easily. It's okay. I'm finally accepting what my proper place is within society. I wasn't meant to fit in. I was meant to burn the walls and the fences down so all my people could be free. And of course, you would call fire crazy. Crazy because of the potential that you cannot control. And I'm okay with that as long as you're okay with knowing you'll never control me. You'd have a much easier time controlling fire before you control a phoenix. Just because I'm made of fire doesn't mean that's all I am. And maybe for all of you, it's time for you to join me in the realization of what you actually are. This place within yourself that you keep avoiding, the different situations, the different things that need to happen to prepare you for your proper place within society. You were never meant to follow the very people you were designed to lead. And being a leader does not make you superior. It simply means you are more properly calibrated to serve at the front of the line, not in the middle or the back. This is not about a hierarchy. This is about understanding what you were designed to do and embracing yourself as a totality that you are. Oh, Michael. So, you are a world within a world within a world, right? And here you are. Allowing yourself to give birth to a new reality, one that's strictly for you, but you can invite others to. And as you invite others into your reality, the existence that you created for yourself, what ends up happening is that they begin to either want to stay or they become inspired to create a similar type of reality for themselves. I was having a conversation with my son. He's like such a source of such deep introspection. So I'm having this conversation with my son, and he's frustrated. He's in the music industry, and, you know, a lot of the sounds that you guys hear, if you're into certain types of genres of music, he actually created that. And he was sharing his frustration about how he doesn't get the proper credit that he deserves, that people wait for him to come out with a new sound and then everyone jumps on it, and it's like it's not fair. And I was telling him it's not meant to be fair, it's meant to be powerful. If you can allow yourself to come to this realization of the type of power you wield over an entire industry, you don't need the credit. It will take the basic people years to catch up, but eventually they will, and they will understand the way you shape this entire industry. So you have to just shift the way you see things. I was telling him how once upon a time, quite a few years back, people would watch me doing energy work and they would mock me and make fun of me, and, you know, all of these things that they had to say about, like, that's so weird. Was she doing Tai Chi? Like, newsflash. I know I look Asian, but not all Asians do Tai Chi. Okay? Okay. And they used to say all of these things like, that's so weird. What is she doing with her hands? Stuff you won't understand for another few years. That's what. It's okay. I have to just continue to be me. And look now, so many people who do energy work in that way. No one gives me credit for that. So many people talk about parasites, energetic parasites. No one gives me credit for that. I don't need credit for that. I don't need recognition for that. I simply need to accept I am bound to a higher level of responsibility and accountability because I have the ability to affect many, many people that I don't even know exists in that way. And that's all I have to be focused on. I'm not here to be worshiped. I'm not here to collect credits. I'm here to recreate the way the world used to be when we once cared about each other. It's none of my business. It's none of my business what other people do with that. As long as they're not being malignant, let them be inspired. That's fine. Literally, it's fine. Allowing yourself to understand the work you came here to do has nothing to do with credit or recognition or any of that. The only reason I would need to be so publicly visible is to give people more content to be inspired by, not to be worshiped, not to build a following. Because really, truly, I'm not interested in you following me. I'm only interested in you walking beside me as my equal. That's it. So, knowing how powerful you are, knowing what kind of effect you can have, and being okay with you being the only one knowing, that comes from a place of power. That comes from this space of finally stepping into your divinity. Step into your divinity. Step into your divinity. Step out of the games, step out of the programs, step into your divine existence. Now, it's almost like you're being given information directly from your higher self. And again, there's a little bit of that keeping your eyes closed and not allowing yourself to see what needs to be seen. That's okay. You'll get through it. You'll get through it. I love this. I love this. I love this a lot, actually. I love this a lot. So here you are. Communication is being initiated within you, a communication between the self and the soul. Allow that communication to develop and ripen into a symposium. Hold symposium between self and soul. This focused, beautiful articulation of thoughts, dreams, goals, instruction, guidance, acceptance or denial of. I mean, you don't have to be always just soul's lackey, doing whatever soul says in order to be compliant with soul. A few minutes ago, you guys saw me laugh a little bit. Why? Well, because what Michael was trying to do was trigger me in such a way that I would enter into the space that I'm currently positioned in, a space where I can speak in a neutral manner about profound things, creating an even richer nuance to what I'm speaking about. I received the messages the previous pulled cards were giving me. And y'all, that's how fast I receive messages. For myself, yeah, I can do that. I can just pull X amount of cards and I know exactly the entire chapter of that book that soul is trying to read to me. And it's like, no, that's something private and that needs to be dealt with privately. And it's okay. It's not secretive. It's called privacy. Okay. You being able to decide what you will allow and disallow, who you will allow to be present as you experience things, and who should not be around you. And some might be like, well, I mean, isn't the whole point of what you're doing to allow us to witness you in your process? Yeah, you just witnessed me in a process. It's not secretive. It's not at all. I would think it's more unhealthy for someone to be so fixated about knowing every single detail of someone else's life that they're not even a part of. You don't find that unhealthy to be that fixated over someone's life that you've never even met in person? I'm not even that fixated over the lives of my siblings. Heck, even my children, who I am responsible for, I try my best to give them their privacy. If they need time to process something, I try and give them their privacy. I try and let them have that space where I'm not all up in their space. This is a healthy conversation that we're having. You're witnessing a very, very healthy display of awareness of my boundaries and enforcement of it. I'm not simply here to word vomit and overshare. And to those who think I've been oversharing, you have no idea of the richness of my life and how many experiences I have in a single day. To think that I overshare without even having a clue that what I'm sharing is maybe 1% of something that happened maybe 10 years ago. It's okay. I'm not upset, but you are illustrating yourself to be someone. I'm just saying. That's the thing. This is what happens to us day in and day out. People will observe us and have this assumption that they know exactly who we are, and using that limited information that they fail to allow themselves to realize and accept as limited, they then begin to form speculative thoughts that they then use to justify their condemnation of you. I'm not for that. Whatever you share with me in public or in private, that's only a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what you've lived through. And these events that you've lived through that I'm not aware of are actually what makes you you. So will I condemn you? No, I don't even know you. I know your energy, I know your potential, but do I know you? No, I don't. It's not my place to condemn you. I'm not a dick. Only people who are dickish condemn others. Seriously. Seriously. So it's this thing of walking away, if you so choose, from the things that are veiled attempts to waste your time and your energy, but it's colored in such a way that others would think that it's some type of spiritual process. No, no. Not everything is a spiritual process just because someone says it is. I'm just saying, not everything is a spiritual process just because someone feels that it's a spiritual process. If you don't feel what's happening to you is a spiritual process, then maybe it's not. Just take care not to assume everything is not a spiritual process just because you don't want to deal with it. Okay? Be able to hold yourself accountable for the ways in which you avoid your lessons. All right. So, this crown energy coming forward, this is a lot of, sorry, I don't know what that was. This is a lot of realizations coming through. A lot of that crown energy, that purpley crown, but then there are veins of reddish, rusty color. And that's telling me that a lot of your spiritual process is being infiltrated by this fear of not being able to survive it. That's just a more dramatic version of a fish being afraid of drowning in the ocean just because they're accustomed to living in a fishbowl. That's just more dramatic. Mhm. Stay current on the topics most important to you. Put on the full armor of God. That one was funny. That was funny. Okay. Ooh, just last night I had to deal with friends disrespecting boundaries. I'm over it, ready to start cutting everyone out. Yeah. I think the most sick of my hair in my face. I think the most powerful way to begin really shifting people's place within your life is by revoking the titles you've given them. What does that mean? Okay. Well, if you disrespect my boundaries and you're aware of those boundaries, and you also are not interested in listening to me, letting you know that the boundaries are being crossed and therefore you need to make some corrections, you're not a friend. That label is revoked. You have the authority to revoke the very labels that you created for these people. You do. Listening in reverse. Are we not listening to the things that we need to listen to? Listening in reverse. Are we failing to hear the antithesis of our needs being spoken by the people we trust? The opposite of what we need. Sorry. Freedom. You have to come out of your fortress if you want to stop the onslaught. You have to come out of the fortress. See, sometimes what happens, some people will remain within their fortress. They feel safe there. When others come to trying to begin, they try to begin to attack you, and you don't come out in response to their behavior. They get it in their head that you're afraid. And then that emboldens them. It causes them to develop a type of courage that they didn't have at the beginning of it. So sometimes our lack of action is the very thing that causes people to feel brave enough to keep upping the ante. I think because you guys are my people, for many of you, the same reason that I don't, because if I come out, it's to destroy everything that moves outside of my palace walls. And I'm going to feel badly for destroying you. Whether or not it's appropriate is irrelevant. I'm going to feel badly for destroying you. And that's why I stay hidden within my fortress. It's not from fear. At least not fear in the way you think. I'm not afraid of you. I'm afraid of what I'll do to you. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Mm, 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 mm. I've never been the one to be. My hair is kind of crispy. I thought it wasn't supposed to make your hair crispy. Let me crush up the crispies. Maybe my hair will calm down if I crush it up. Let me crush this too, because I want this overgrown baby hair section to get out of my face. All right. Yeah. I think for many of us, we're afraid of how powerful we actually are because we don't trust ourselves wielding a power that we've had the entirety of the existence of your soul. You know what I'm saying? Do you think you just develop these abilities in this life? I'm sorry for giggling. I just hearing that come out of my mouth just sounds so obnoxious that it's like, oh my God, that's obnoxious. You didn't just develop these abilities in this lifetime. I tell you, you've had these abilities for quite a few millennia. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Beauty in reverse. Not quite grasping how beautiful you are. how beautiful your life is. The beauty of your journey, the way your journey unfolds is beautiful. Beautiful. You're all I need to get by. Ah, you're all I need to get by. Hi, like sweet morning dew. I took one look at you. It was plain to see you are my destiny. You, I spend my time. I'm triggered, y'all. I gotta just. I gotta stim for a moment because I'm just triggered. I'm not sure what I'm triggered over. So I'm looking at the transcript of a reading that I had done years ago. Okay. Stop. Seriously, stop. Trust yourself. Everything in creation is conspiring to make you succeed. Like they've all ganged up. They have all ganged up. That's not just one species. I mean, look at that. That's a whole damn forest. They've ganged up to make sure you don't back down. Eyes on the prize. Look at her staring up. She's going forwards and upwards with her war paints on, and she don't look worried at all. There looks to be no anxiety, no fear, just this sense of, I wonder what's up there. You're about to be up there. And before you go up, follow your own rhythm. Just because you're hearing this information and it's resonating with you doesn't mean you're going to be trying to rush, okay? Just like with Scorpio, there's no need for a rush. You have to just allow yourself to flow and know you're going to end up where you need to be, when you need to be there. Stop trying too hard to be something that you're not, to be somewhere you shouldn't be. You're going to drain yourself if you do that. And then you're going to go, oh, that sounded good when she said it. I'm just so tired. Yeah, you're going to be tired. You've been being told for far too long that you're heaven sent, and it's not just some romantic, cheesy line. You really do come from the heavens, okay? There was a reason we were saved for last. There's a reason we can take on all the zodiac signs. We can take characteristics from any sign, we embody all of them. We are the culmination of the zodiac. So, with that, that tells me as Pisces, we create the heavens, all of us put together makes up the heavens, okay? We are here to assist as creators watching creation unfold. We're here to shine a light for those in darkness, ourselves included. I'm just saying. It's time to release the old programs. It's time to release the need to rush. It's time to release the need to be something and be somewhere that you weren't designed to be in. The only place you're going is the only place you belong. And it's up to you how the travel will go between where you are right now and where your soul is bringing you. It is up to you. It's up to you. It really, truly is. You have that kind of power. You have that type of power. Sanctuary. Allowing yourself to retreat back into yourself because you are your sanctuary. You even exist as a sanctuary for other people. So it's important that you maintain that sanctuary. It's important that you not allow people to treat that sacred space that is the sanctuary as though it were simply a dumping ground. It's no more of that. You have to love yourself to the degree that your sacredness remains sacred. I no longer will tolerate certain types of behaviors, certain types of energies. And, myself included, I've wondered, is this too harsh? Am I too strict with my space? Because really, if you're going to continue to portray yourself as this source of toxicity, like something about your energy continues to just irk and irk and irk, like I don't know what it is, it's disturbing my peace, I can't leave my home. You are the visitor. You need to go. You guys have to be able to have that realization within yourself. When people come to your home through words, your home being your thoughts and your mind, and they come and visit your home and they try and alter the way your home functions, they try and remove the things that are comfortable for you and replace it with things that really you don't vibe with, their thoughts, their opinions. I mean, are you going to move out just so that you're not rude to a visitor? Or are you going to be like, motherfucker, who you think you is? What? I'm sorry. You talking out the side of your neck right now. Some people do. It's like they don't know how to use their voice. They don't know how to use that communication in a way that's mutually empowering. They talk out the side of their neck like they're bleeding out words that are toxic to them. I'm sorry. That's not my function in your life. I don't think so. I'm out of stuff to sip. Now you're going to be receiving blunt ass truth. I'm just saying, roll me up and smoke me, because that's what's about to happen. I'm about to get so blunt. Okay, harmony. You have to keep the harmony within yourself by showing grace to yourself. Harmony and grace pair beautifully with truth. When you lie to yourself about the truth of people's intentions with you, a truth that you're already aware of, you create a war in order to maintain a peace that never existed. Hooty hoo. Pass that Dutch, baby. Hooty hoo. I don't smoke ever. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't gluten. I don't dairy. I don't cook. I don't clean. I do those things. Not as much as I used to, but I still do those things. Card number 40. I'm feeling an energy. Sensing what is accurate without being told. I'm feeling an energy. Let me just, biatch. Let me just, I'm sick of your shit, biatch. There you go. I'm just happy now. All right. The dirty South. Coast feels me. West Coast feels me. The dirty South. Okay, let me stop. We're not doing Timbaland songs, okay? We gotta stop. We gotta focus because we got sessions coming up. So card number 40. Wrong page. Card number 40. Your intellect may be confused, but your emotions will never lie to you. Ooh. Looks like we made it. Look how far we come, my baby. I'm glad we didn't listen. Look at what we wouldn't be missing. They say, I bet they'll never make it, but just look at us holding on. Y'all are feeling something. I know you are, but you're just like, you're just not wanting to hear it, is what it is. Okay. Let matters flow. In astrology, the element of water represents our emotions and our talents of imagination. Water characterizes the realm of vision, taking us into the quintessential depths of feeling, where intuition is more appropriate than acquired wisdom and knowledge. Ooh, okay. Let's define acquired. Buy or obtain for oneself an asset or object, to learn or develop a skill, habit, or quality, to come to have as a result of one's behaviors or activities. He acquired a reputation for scrupulous honesty. Okay, give me the Latin. Give me the Latin. Get in. Okay, that means get in. Get in addition. Get in addition to seek. The meaning of acquired is gained by or as a result of effort or experience. So, are you acquiring this purpose? Or is this something you are already born with? You didn't gain it from experience in this life. This is something that you are already born with. I don't know. I don't know. Has to do with acquire, acquisitions. I'm thinking I'm not liking this. An asset or object bought or obtained typically by a library or museum, the learning or developing of a skill, habit, or quality. Um, Act of acquiring something. There is something to this. The three types of acquisitions: team buy, product buy, strategic buy. For high growth company, acquisitions fundamentally boil down to three types: team buy, product buy, strategic buy, but there's actually a fourth type. This type of acquisition can be called a synergistic acquisition. What are the stages of acquisition? Decision to acquire, criteria for acquiring, company search and selection, planning, evaluation, negotiation, due diligence, contract of acquisition. So, what level are we at? The planning or the evaluation? One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. Okay. So, I think someone is finalizing their acquisition strategy. And as part of the finalization of the acquisition strategy, there's an allocation of workload within the acquisitions team. So there is stuff that is being we get carried away on water. We have feelings of floating or being adrift over water. When looking at the shimmering surface, we cannot see to the bottom, but we know and sense what is there. Deep things too obtuse and transitory, sorry, transitory to explain, fathoms of moods and insight. When this card presents itself in a spread, you can trust what you feel is the best course to follow. What you are sensing right now may not be based on any logic. It's just that what you are sensing is correct. So the sense is correct. I can't. Right now, it's best to go with the flow, and depending on the card surrounding it, to trust that movement, although these changes may seem gentle and gradual. This card indicates a need to withdraw and fight another day. It's time to gather resources and gain strength before moving ahead. This can at times indicate trusting too soon or the passive acceptance of other people's shortcomings when you shouldn't accept them. You may have the tendency to want to allow things to pass you by without fighting for them, to let go of something that is rightfully yours. Water is the element of compassion and understanding, but avoiding being a doormat. It's possible people or forces may take advantage of your benign and accepting nature. This is a good time to imagine, write, paint, play, or create anything. This card represents being connected to the flow of all things. It's also the ability to keep a secret, to work alone in privacy. It's probably best to now allow people or circumstances to not pin you down or hem you in. Frankly, you now have the ability to flow or drift out of any situation in the way water is able to move around obstacles very gently and easily. I know. In a sense, it's a type of surrender. Maybe it is a surrender to a dream. At present, you may have little energy and want to withdraw. You are, in fact, doing a lot of inner processing, which will take you where you want to go. There are deeper levels working and developing inside you, but the work is not seen on the outside. Expect a pause, but forward motion soon. Look inwards. Don't worry about the drama that surrounds you. Avoid the commotion. Sit still, float, and trust your inner wisdom. It will not steer you wrong. So, um, there's a secondary message for people who are more like me, where if you are aware of the flow, and you're aware of certain details, it's almost like you're fighting that flow even more. Hold on. There was a specific line. It says, you have now the ability to flow or drift out of any situation in the way water is able to move around obstacles very gently and easily. And here's the thing, for some, the secondary message is that what you are categorizing, labeling as an obstacle actually is not an obstacle. It's a care package sent to you by your own soul. Okay. And so this then is basically your soul letting you know now is not the time to avoid certain things. Now is not the time for avoidance. Now is a time to assess what's before you so that you can properly respond. Okay. Sun, spirit. There is a vitality, a life force, an energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all time, this expression is unique. So, this sun card is about the need to express who you are. The sun is a desire to bring on the outside what exists on the inside. So, it's like you or someone within your life within proximity to you, um, is wanting, has this intense desire to project, manifest that projection into an actual life circumstance. It's a positivity that trumps anything negative. When the sun card presents itself in a spread, it adds an encouraging spin to any reading. The sun is all that is good. So all things that are truly meaningful are starting to happen now. You're in a place to lead and inspire. This card gives an emphatic yes to your reading. What are you needing or wanting to do? What is it that's your goal? And whatever your goal is, that's kind of like what's going to happen. So you have to be aware of the goal you're setting for yourself. It's through the sun's inspiration and creativity that will enable you to make things materialize. This may be at the front of a group or on stage or in a way that you lead with confidence. The sun card gives an emphatic yes to your reading. Let me see. Summer may be when the wished for event occurs. So summer, there is an event that's occurring. And this is something that you've wished for a very long time. And summer is a time when that event is being allowed to come to fruition. You may find yourself singled out, perhaps in a dramatic situation where you show your skills in some impromptu ways. What you're doing now is being noticed. Okay. It's a time of generosity and laughter. The spotlight shines on your life. If you're not used to this, you may react with aloofness. Avoid foolishness, immaturity, and any lack of organization during this time, or the matter could fall apart at the seams. All in all, this is a progressive, energetic card which foretells of prodigious things on the horizon. This card indicates the matters will be going your way, but leadership on your part will be necessary. It's time to act and take your place in the sun. It's about life force, power, influence, radiance, the heart chakra, stage presence, and charisma. It's a lot of things happening. A lot of shifting, a lot of external projection, manifestation of those projections. It's just a lot. Card number 36, 12th house, escape. The lunatic, the lover, and the poet are of imagination all compact. It's time to get on point. It's not a time to ignore or overlook what's there. Things may get fragmented. So there are definitely things that are see, solitude, charity, begging, hospitalization, secret enemies. Okay. 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 All right. The 12th house of the zodiac is the most mesmerizing of all the houses. Mysticism, dreaming, drowning, vast seas, and surrendering are all themes that belong to this house of self undoing. It's also the place in the chart where we lapse in our judgment and make bad choices. Like the sign of Pisces that rules it, the 12th house falls at the end of the zodiac, which indicates a type of passage or rebirth. So it's this sense of you're being provided the opportunity to rebirth yourself as part of a correction of poor choices, the results of poor choices you made a while ago. Let's see. Evolved souls and the doomed live here. It's where the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows exist. The 12th house offers bliss, spiritual fulfillment, the meeting up of twin flames. So, final card. Ooh, I love that, Ben. Instead of working on one fragment at a time, put the mirror back together and work on that image. instead of chasing and working on one fragment at a time. Right? And I think part of what happens when we work on one fragment at a time, because it's this thing of like perfectionism, this fear of failure, this fear of inadequacy. We work on one fragment at a time, trying to perfect that fragment, a piece of a larger picture we know nothing about. How can you fix what you don't know if you don't know what part of the larger picture it is? How do you know? How do you know what to do with it? You don't. You don't know. Let's see. Card number 26, Shodashi. Okay, girl. I see what you're doing there. Okay. Oh, Eliza, are you still here? Eliza, you asked about the bras. They're a piece of shit. Those bras, they put all over social media. The ones that have technology to address back fat. They're a piece of shit. Not joking. I finally tried it on. It does feel good in the back, but I don't know what their sense of cups are. I don't know what their sense of cups are. But if your girlfriend, if girlfriend selects it doesn't match up. I'm so sorely disappointed because when I put it on, I was like, well, maybe the cups will expand. It looks like I have a toddler hiding in my shirt and using their tiny hands to prop my breastises up. It was the ugliest silhouette ever. It was ugly. And so if you guys are planning to buy that bra, to say I'm disappointed is just, it's an understatement. It's an understatement. How the fuck do you rationalize that what looks like the underwire for a C cup, which I love C cups. I'm jealous. I wish. I legit wish. That's like goals right there. How do you figure a C cup will be adequate to hold something that is there's a huge difference between C and double F. You see what I'm saying? This is C cup. This is a C cup. This is double F. It was like enough to hold my areola. It's like, and then if you look inside the cup, there's this little dent. I assume that would hold the nipples. I was just like this. To say I was disappointed. I was beyond disappointed. It was just, I think if you're a C cup or smaller, perfect bra for you. Super comfy in the back. It doesn't dig in. If you're anything above a C cup, don't hurt your feelings because I hurt my own. I hurt my own feelings that day. I was just like, this. Maybe if I tuck it in, maybe if I origami my boobie into that, it didn't work. It didn't work. Save your money. Go get measured. Go get fit. They'll fit you for free at Victoria's Secret. You just ask them to measure you and they'll measure you. They're trained to do that. Okay? So do that. Don't waste your money on any more social media shit. That's the last fucking time I'm buying anything from social media. Every single time I buy anything from social media, that's how that shit turns out. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That's how it turns out. It's just garbage. All of it is garbage. Okay, here goes. Final card. Card number 26, Shodashi. Ruby red with the divine juice of life. She nourishes the body, mind, and soul with vitalizing pleasure, life, and joyfulness. Goddess Shodashi restores self esteem and an awareness of your innate value, especially after a time of painful rejection or disappointment. So, someone's going to be rising back up to their rightful place of, like, you know, confidence, self-love, self-appreciation. Oh, baby boo, I bought 2 wigs for $75 too. That was the biggest piece of shit ever. Lace front my ass. Lace front my ass. Okay. Let me not. Through her blessings, the desires of the heart can find fulfillment in a new way. She brings divine energy for the manifestation of wishes. Her presence is an indication of inner power to restore yourself and attract what you need into your life. So, someone's going to be attracting what they need into their life. It's going to be the type of thing that you can't exactly fully plan, but you can't also exactly fully avoid it. It's something that's going to be coming, and it's just that's it. It's, yeah. Shodashi is a fertile and creative aspect of Lalita Tripura Sundari. Red colored skin and vibrant with feminine life force, she's the power to actualize desires. In color healing from Hinduism and Buddhism, red is a medicine for attraction and magnetism. The appearance of Shodashi in a reading indicates a time when your ability to attract what you want is heightened. You can be relaxed and trusting in your capacity for magnetically drawing all your desire into your world. So it's almost this thing, we were talking about it earlier, where it's like you kind of called something into being, right? You kind of just called something into being and allowed yourself, really just allowed yourself to feel it for a moment. And that moment of feeling it, the potential of it, it was enough to start the ball rolling on making it happen. It's your fault. I'm joking. In the tantric teachings of Kali Ma, desire is not something to be afraid of, but something that can become part of our spiritual path. The benefits of developing the character traits required for manifesting desire, such as relaxation, trust, enjoyment, delight, and bliss, as well as discipline, commitment, determination, focus, and a positive attitude, encourage us onward so we don't give up before attaining success. I think a lot of what happens is that we halt the process, interfere with our process right as it's completing, right as it's completing. And it becomes this thing of you becoming your own interference, your own interference. Okay, let me look at Soma. Hold on. I need to put this in my phone before I forget, because I want to see. Ooh, very reasonably priced. Okay. How big do they go? They need to be able to fit my bra, my boobs. I don't want my boobs cut in half. Have you guys ever had that, where a bra, like you have your boob and then there's this top portion of your boob outside the bra? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't like that at all. I don't like it. I like my boob fully encompassed within the cup. Okay, let's see this full coverage. That's not a bad price if it's durable. Okay, okay. Well, there you go. Let me see. Uh-huh. Yes, I can actually fit. I'm like on the outermost, but it will fit. Okay. Yeah, I think my boobies are going to say thank you to you. later on. Okay, let's see. From our successes, we will come to realize that within one desire lies a seed of another. If you give a mouse a cookie, this is what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. If you give a mouse a cookie, Shodashi often arises when the soul needs deep cleansing, particularly of past hurts. Her presence indicates recovery and the reclaiming of dignity after experiences of being judged, betrayed, or criticized. If your innate being has been attacked in any way, or if there has been bullying or nastiness directed towards you, Shodashi brings healing and renewal to rise above such mean spirited and lay claim to your beauty and worth. If we have been overly valued for our appearance, then she provides us a healing path to clear the confusion and connect us to the real value and beauty of our inner being. Her oracle indicates all manner of beautiful blessings and awakening within and being attracted into your life. Ooh, I love that. Shodashi. Okay, how about we do this? If you've experienced all of that stuff, you know, if you've experienced these things that have really hurt you so deeply, these things that have been allowed to happen to you in order to grow you in some way, but instead of growing you, it's caused you to shrink yourself, right? Why don't we do #grow? I'm going to do a little bit of energy work. I've been really liking, now I'm not going to do it for every single reading, but lately I've been really liking doing a little bit of energy work at the very end, just to recalibrate all of us. Oh, also apologies. I didn't do the expedites yesterday evening like I had planned to because I was knocked out. I was laid out. Yeah, out of nowhere. I was put to sleep by my soul. A lot of operating system upgrades being put into place. So sorry. I'm planning to do it this weekend though. So put #grow, and I'm going to do a little bit of energy work to kind of facilitate, to support a lot of that healing beyond whatever whatever offense, whatever was said or done to cause you to see yourself in a diminished way. Okay? Because it's like, I don't want anyone to feel diminished. I don't want anyone to feel as though they're not enough, or that because one person might not agree with you, or have the capacity to see you for what you are, that no one is able to. That's a lie. Okay? So #grow if you would like to receive this. And it's going to be calibrated only to people who put #grow, just because I don't want energy to be wafting everywhere. Oh, someone was like, well, what about the people who have been banned and can't comment on any of my videos? Right. Exactly. I don't just ban people. There's a very real reason why you get banned and removed from my presence. Why would I continue to give to you? That's a fairly entitled expectation, I'd say, right? I'll let you go ahead and figure that out on your own. I'm going to go ahead and play some music. Um, let's get some music on the screen. Yikes, yikes, yikes. And you guys, I think it was important for you to hear that, because just because someone has done something bad to you and you've been able to just move forward from it, you don't hold on to it, that doesn't mean you have to continue to give to them. No, you can move forward and leave it at that. You don't have to continue to give. Breathe deep and slow. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Continue to breathe very deep and very slow. Allow yourself to let go of the feelings. Allow yourself to feel it deeply and then to let it go completely. Take a deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Allow, allow, allow. Allow yourself to go through the whole process. Allow yourself to feel what's being released. This is not a dumping process. You're not just finding things and dumping them. You're allowing yourself to recognize what it is before you gently let it go. There's no longer a need to hold on to the very things that have hurt you. Repeatedly, these thoughts, these thought loops that you've been in that have continued to allow the hurtful circumstance, hurtful experiences, the hurtful words, the sense of loss, all of these things that you've suffered through for as long as you've been suffering. You don't need to anymore. You just don't. You don't need to suffer in that way. You don't need to punish yourself for having learned a lesson. When you went through that thing the first time, that event, that circumstance, that interaction, when you went through it the first time, you were learning something from it. And every time you rehashed it in your mind after that, you were simply punishing yourself for it. Find a space of self-love that no longer involves self-punishment. Find a part of your self-love journey where you can look at yourself with compassion, where you can recognize the things that you've been through and allow yourself to retrieve the knowledge that was gleaned from that experience. Allow yourself to finally reach this sacred space within your template of self-love, this space where there is no room for self-hatred, self-punishment, self-abasement, self-abnegation. There is no need to negate the validity of you. I hope that whatever you're all going through, that today's reading and today's mini energy work session can help you better come to terms with the gravity of how beautiful you are, how needed you are, how valid you and your life are. And if no one in your environment has the courage to exit out of the box of programs to remind you of these things, by all means, come back to this video and watch it over and over and over again. Watch it every time you doubt yourself. Watch this part every single time you start to forget how important and how necessary you are, even to people who don't yet know you exist. The lack of knowledge of something does not negate the divinity of that something. See, some people get offended if you don't believe in God because what? I take no offense if you don't believe in a God essence, a creator, a superior divinity. I take no offense to it because guess what? The divinity that I believe in, the divinity that I know exists, never needed our permission to exist. And if you begin to accept that you are a fragment of that divinity, well, honey, you don't need anyone else's permission to exist. You don't need their permission to grow and be who you are. No. No, you don't. So I hope this empowers whoever needed a little top up in the empowerment category. I hope whatever hurts that once existed are still being soothed. How do you guys feel? Do you guys feel better? Do you feel soothed? Do you feel like maybe your heart is just that much less broken, that much less shattered? Oh, I don't know who I'm talking to right now, but Michael brings my attention to these feelings that are kind of rising up. Um, I don't know what the feelings are in response to, and I'm going to kind of trust this for a moment because it's important for you guys to see the process of knowing when to trust beyond even your lack of understanding, right? Right. So here's the thing. Whatever I did to hurt your feelings, I didn't mean it. Whatever I did back then when I was still fractured, when I still didn't understand the gravity of my existence and my words, I didn't mean it. I didn't know. And it's not me not taking accountability for however it is that I made you feel once upon a time. It's me letting you know I'm not there anymore. There's a new story being written. It's not one that negates what happened in the past. It's one that takes a story forward. And I hope one day you're able to leave that space, whatever space that I left you in that kept you in a space of hurt. I hope that you find the courage to leave that space and join me in a new story, one that's mutually beneficial, one that carries within it, interlaced between every letter of every word, a reciprocity of love and respect that's necessary for the both of us to continue to thrive. We all grow, we all change in our own time and our own measure, but we do. We do. And I hope that whatever I've done in the past, whether I was joking around and I didn't know it hurt someone's feelings, or even going so far as to consider conflict or arguments that I've had in the past. I hope whatever it is, that you could leave it where it is in the past. And you can join me in the present as well as the future, where we can discuss the effects on you, and you can be the teacher that I need to help me to learn why I should never choose to return back there, and why I should never take that old thing and reinsert it into the present, right? None of us are perfect. And even in that knowledge, we don't have any excuses for behaviors, even during a period where you didn't know any better. When you know better, yes, you're obligated to do better, but you're also obligated to understand why you need to, by assessing where you've come from, the old behaviors and mindsets. Growth is important, but growth is not just something that sends you higher into the sky. Growth also requires a deepening and spreading of your roots. If you're going to be a tree of life, you need to grow in both directions, sinking deeper into the past and the gravity of what that past is teaching you, and up higher into the sky so you can better see exactly where it is you've been planted. Life is absolutely beautiful, even when we choose not to see it as such. And just because you can't see it as beautiful does not mean it isn't. It doesn't mean you have to adjust life. It means you have to adjust your perception of it, not because you're wrong, but because your current perception continues, perpetuates your suffering. Don't adjust your perception because you think you're wrong or broken. Adjust it because you're coming to the realization that you deserve to see life in its totality for the beauty that it is, and how every situation that you live through adds to the circumstance of growth. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's talk, and I hope that whatever words empower you are carried with you for a very long time. I believe in your ability to grow. I believe in your ability to grow on your own terms, in your own time, without interference. I trust in your decision making. I trust in your desire to choose what is healthiest and most healing for you. So please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. And for all y'all who know, and especially those who don't, I will see you all here tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for church. Bye, everyone.